There once was a man who ventured to Naples and conquered foreign lands in Italy. A man whose story is often overlooked, underestimated, and sometimes misunderstood. But in Naples, he found something he didn't have in a long time: belief.
The belief, which is so big in football and confidence, it's just not there at the minute.
On the river Lune sits a proud castle, once a Roman fort, and after William I came to town, the Castle Lancaster was established. This castle still stands proud today, centuries later. Around this castle the city of Lancaster was founded, a borough that gave birth to King John. His nickname was John Lackland because he was never expected to inherit any land, so it came as a surprise when he became King of England in 1199. 826 years later, a Scotsman was born in the same city. In 1996, Scott McTominay was introduced to the world. The world was introduced to Scott McTominay on the 7th of May 2017 in a 2-0 defeat for the Reds at the Emirates. A tall, skinny kid got brought on from the bench by once renowned manager Jose Mourinho. 84 minutes into a miserable match against the Gunners, Juan Mata was brought off for a 21-year-old McTominay. He didn't impress anyone, but he also didn't shit the bed with 6 minutes remaining, a debutant from the proud academy. Scott was a pioneer in his own right, being inducted into United's academy's new program, which saw them bring in under-9s, house and school them, all while training them to be world-class footballers. This is in no way an exact science. Each age group players are dropped, it's like football Hunger Games. But instead of winning a fictional competition, these kids are fighting for their dream. Starting out, he was a centre forward, but as the other kids outgrew him, he got placed in the midfield. Most midfielders have to have good reading of the game, be physically strong, and must have perfect technique. A young Scott barely had any of these attributes, but the coaches saw something in him and gave him the patience needed to develop and grow. Still a skinny giant in 2017, he was poised to be a squad player for the senior team going into the 17-18 season. Scott's tenure over the next 5 years was an unusual one. The turning point was when a United legend walked through the door and anointed McTominay with the unwanted pigeonholed position of holding midfielder alongside Fred. Parallel to this awkward midfield at United, McTominay got his Scottish call-up. But instead of being pigeonholed in a defensive midfielding position, the coaching staff at the Scottish FA trusted McTominay to impose his figure inside the opposition box. Playing as a number 10 and sometimes a centre forward, McTominay would go on to regularly feature on the score sheet, playing exciting football and making fans like me question why can't he play in this position at United. If you watch football over the past 10 years, you most likely know about the turmoil at the once unstoppable club, Manchester United. Scott, in his 7 years at Manchester United, has played under 4 managers. Enter Erik ten Hag, and immediately put Scott's position under threat. In the 2022-23 season, Scott got the odd game here and there, but by 23-24 he was but a footnote in this United club. Only called upon when they needed a miracle. The miracle he performed without any smoke and mirrors came in a 2-1 win over Brentford, when a towering McTominay scored 2 goals in the depth of the game to secure 3 points for the always regressing United. He was quoted after the game that he didn't hear the Dutchman's instructions, but he is sure he must have said score 2 goals. A season later he was shown the door. Napoli. I don't think anyone had them winning the Serie A going into the 24-25 season, bringing in over the summer another former United player and an interesting player by his own right, Romelu Lukaku. Big Rom once had the world at his feet, but after constant transfers and no place to call home, Naples extended a hand, and alongside Lukaku came McTominay. Napoli manager Antonio Conte had a plan, a real one. He didn't see Scott as a stopgap or a rotational option. He saw him as a weapon. He built a system around McTominay's strength, and the results? They were staggering. Looking at McTominay's scouting report for his season, you'll find him in the 99th percentile for non-penalty goals and shot totals among midfielders. But what stands out even more, his progressive runs, his take-ons and his ability to receive the ball in advanced areas. He was no longer being asked to build, he was being told to raid. As journalist Vincenzo Grandino put it, he's a raider, not a builder. He charged forward with power and intent, and he imposed himself on games not with delicate passes or tight turns, but with sheer ferocity. He wasn't trying to finesse his way into a playmaker's role, he was trying to win. McTominay became the heartbeat of the Napoli midfield. In April, he went on a tear, scoring 5 goals and winning Serie A's Player of the Month. To put that in perspective, in his last 255 appearances for United, he scored 29 goals. In his first season in Italy, he netted 12. And that 12th goal, a bizarre, awkward acrobatic strike inside the penalty box on the final day of the season. It wasn't pretty, but it was enough to win Napoli the Serie A title. That goal summed up the new McTominay, the Raider. A man who doesn't need elegance to be effective, he just needs the right battlefield. Scott went from being doubted at one of the biggest clubs in the world to becoming a cult hero in Naples. And when I say hero, I mean it. People in Naples are getting Scott McTominay tattoos. Let that sink in. His popularity, his energy, and his never say die attitude has endeared him to fans. So much so that this once maligned midfielder is now the proud recipient of Serie A's MVP award, an award previously won by the likes of Paulo Dybala and Cristiano Ronaldo. And now, the Scottish Marradona, Scott McTominay. His journey is a testament to what happens when talent meets belief. Not just self-belief, but belief from those around you. When a coach sees your true strength, when a fan base embraces your effort, when a team plays to your traits, that's when the magic happens. Napoli believed and Scott delivered. There's something special about redemption arcs in football. It's not just about the goals, the trophies, or the accolades. It's about proving people wrong and showing the world that your worth isn't defined by a few bad games or a narrative that someone else wrote for you. Scott didn't just rewrite the narrative. He tore the old one up and created something brand new, something real, something powerful. He became more than a player, he became a symbol that sometimes all it takes is a change of scenery, a new role, a new culture to unlock your full potential. From meme to MVP, from Manchester to Naples.
McTominay! Napoli's most valuable player!
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. What do you think was the turning point for McTominay? Was it the transfer, the manager, the system? And which other players deserves this kind of redemption story? Subscribe if you want more deep dives like this. I've been Chris from the Touchline Reports. Cheers.